What's up, you guys? It's MB Maniac here with you, and I am super excited. The NBA season is officially in full swing as every one of the 30 teams has played at least one game, and we're going to look at some of the top headlines coming in through opening week of the NBA. Things started off in the Eastern Conference as we got to see the Cavaliers receive their rings in front of the New York Knicks. And that was a pretty good game to start things off. You know, the Cavs looked ready to defend their title, man. They're not joking around this year. You know, Kevin Love looked a lot better. You know, LeBron James did his thing. He recorded his first triple-double in opening night history. And Kyrie had 29 points through 3 quarters. And the Knicks just looked like they had no answers, to be honest. And I know I kind of bashed the Knicks in my standings predictions, but in all honesty, their starting 5 is still pretty decent. But the problem is their bench, man. They just have 5 players that went in, and I didn't even know who the names of these guys were other than Brandon Jennings. So if the Knicks want any chance of making the playoffs, they gotta fix that bench situation. And some other headlines in the Eastern Conference: the Hawks opened up with a nice win over the Washington Wizards. You know, Dwight looked like he's having a lot of fun out there. I still think he's gonna have a good season because I think he's found somewhere that he really likes to play. The Pacers opened up with a nice win over the Mavericks. You know, they look really nice. Miles Turner, how about his opening night? 30 points. And another young guy I was going to mention next is Joel Embiid. You know, even though they lost their opener to the Oklahoma City Thunder, he looked dominant, and he's again my preseason prediction for Rookie of the Year. And he made my case when they played the Thunder, man, and again they lost, but you know, he looked really dominant. And defensively, he just alters so many shots. You know, I think he's going to be a Defensive Player of the Year candidate within the next couple of years. And on Thursday night's TNT game, we saw the Celtics lose to the Bulls, which is a very important win for the Bulls because a lot of people, again, don't think that this team's going to be very good. I do think they'll make the playoffs. I don't think they're going to be amazing either, but man, Dwayne Wade looked pretty spry. You know, Rondo looked alright, and Butler played his usual game, and I think Taj Gibson is looking like he's improved a lot, so that'll be interesting to watch as the season unfolds. You know, maybe he can go in the running for most improved player, but that's pretty much going to wrap it up in the Eastern Conference. In the Western Conference, we opened things up with one hell of a game, and we saw the Golden State Warriors get absolutely embarrassed by the San Antonio Spurs. And a lot of people are overreacting to this game, though, in my opinion. You know, we do know what the Spurs are about, and we know they're probably going to be that second team in the Western Conference and that they're legitimate title contenders. But again, it is the first game, and anything's possible on opening night. You know, not to take anything away from the Spurs, but we all know they're not 30 points better than the Warriors. And one thing the people that keep bashing Golden State aren't thinking about is that the Spurs are actually one of the few teams in the NBA that I think is capable of beating the Warriors. I mean, they have Kawhi Leonard, who again is my MVP, and he hasn't done anything to show me that he's not going to win it in the first couple of games. They got LaMarcus Aldridge and Pau Gasol, which against the Warriors is an even bigger advantage than against most teams because although they're really good offensively, you know, the Warriors did lose a lot of defense, and they are very small now without Bogut manning the paint. So it'll be interesting to see if Golden State, you know, tries to do something about that center position because Pachulia is a solid center, but I think they really are going to have to try to find someone that's more of a defensive presence inside. And the Golden State bench, you know, is really drained. That's what's really hurt them. You know, David West, Andre Iguodala, and Livingston are solid players, but Iguodala continues to get older, as does David West. And the other guys are kind of just no-names, you know, guys like Bob McAdoo, Ian Clark, you know. Not that they're trash players, but, you know, in the NBA, you got to have notable depth. And their bench kind of reminded me of New York's bench, where I was just thinking, you know, I don't know who these guys are. So Golden State's definitely going to have to address that issue as well if they're serious about winning championships. And on Wednesday night, we got to see my Lakers. And the first post-Kobe Bryant game in the Lakers books was a W as we pulled out a nice win over the Houston Rockets. I went to opening night, and man, it was exciting as all hell. I mean, everyone was hyped, you know, the coach, the players, the crowd was really excited to see these young guys play, and they came in and they played really well, man. You know, Clarkson had 25 off the bench, which is really smart by Luke Walton to bring him off the bench because I think it provides a lot of energy. And even though Harden had 34 points, 17 assists, it wasn't enough as they gave up 120 points to this Lakers squad, and that's not going to cut it on Houston's. And you know, if they're really serious about being a contender and even making the playoffs, they're going to have to tighten up their defense. Even though Mike D'Antoni isn't a defensive coach, they're still going to have to find ways to get stops to win some of these close games. And the young guys just all looked really good. You know, Randall had a nice game, 18, 7, 6. Clarkson with that 25 points off the bench to go along with D'Angelo's 20 points. You know, I think the Lakers have one of the best backcourts of the future. I'm just really excited, man. They play the Jazz tonight on the road. Now, this will be a good test. You know, no Gordon Hayward and probably no Favors. I think if the Lakers can win that game as well, you know, that's a great start to the season. It'll really get their confidence up. A couple notable performances on Wednesday night's openers. Russell Westbrook with 32, 12, and 9, just missing his first triple-double of the season in his season opener. But that's no surprise because we know how much of a beast he is, and he's probably going to lead the league in triple-doubles. And how about Anthony Davis? 50 points, 16 rebounds, 5 assists, 7 steals, and 4 blocks in an opening night loss to the Denver Nuggets nonetheless, which I find to be kind of sad. You know, he played really well, there's no doubt, but the rest of his teammates have got to step up. And on Thursday night, we saw the Clippers open up on the road against Portland and pull out a pretty big win, because I think the Clippers and the Blazers are really going to have a dogfight for that 3 seed in the West. And even though I do think the Blazers will pull it out, you know, I have to give enough respect to the Clippers, who looked pretty nice. Their bench did improve a lot. And if this was last year and they had that bench, I would have said they're really contenders, but they still have to address that small forward issue because Mbah Moute did not look good, and players looked like they were almost getting frustrated with him. So I still expect them to look for a trade to swing Rudy Gay. And that's pretty much going to wrap it up for me today, but I'm going to continue to just keep on watching all these games, give you guys updates, you know, any ideas, topics you want me to talk about, let me know in the comment section below. And as always, guys, signing off, MB Maniac out.